Hey folks, and welcome to Drinking Alone with Friends, a podcast where three friends drink alone together. My name's Chris.
What up, it's your boy Tud.
And I'm Obert.
And welcome to our first recorded podcast of 2019.
Yep,
Woo!
we're all back in our own homes, back to the grind, as they say.
Is this really considered my home?
Well, yeah, I don't know. Where would you say you're homeless?
I don't know. It's not really my home.
So you're homeless?
So the answer to the question of are you homeless is
Probably yes.
okay. All right, we're
It's
back.
okay. One of these
back
days you'll
to
be
our
home
homes,
full.
and Tud is back to his, residence.
Just for the listeners, just imagine that Tud is just living underneath a overpass in a cardboard
Yeah,
box
down by the river.
with a laptop and a microphone.
Yeah,
And surprisingly,
Can-
really good Wi-Fi.
we can see the burning trash barrel in the background.
Hey, don't knock my hobo fire.
Well, despite his home troubles, Tud you did something pretty fun on New Year's, didn't you?
Yeah, I celebrated the New Year.
Okay, cool. Well, I went to a Colts game last week, and that was really cool. Yeah, I was actually dropping Tud and his fiancée Caitlin, who doesn't live under an overpass, just so everybody knows.
She has a home, to be clear.
She has a home. But I was dropping them off at the airport, and I was like, the Colts were in town. I was like, I'll check tickets. Tickets were expensive. And then I hopped on Ticketmaster, and there it was, $150 for a seat that was like 8 rows off the field.
Nice.
Wow, that's a really good price.
Yeah, I was pretty excied, and
And this
it was awesome.
Week 17 game.
Correct. Yes, this was the win and we're in. If you follow us on Instagram, which I assume everybody does, then you saw me walking outside the stadium and in my Peyton Manning jersey, all that fun stuff. So it was a really awesome time, really awesome game. I sat next to two other people with Peyton Manning jerseys on, so that was really good luck. And the Colts won.
No pun
of course.
intended there, right?
Right.
Oh, right. And the Colts won, so we
That's
are in
exciting.
the playoffs.
Yeah.
In the playoffs. And as anybody who paid attention this Saturday, we are now on to the divisional round, heading over to beat Kansas City. Been a pretty good year for them Indianapolis Colts, America's team.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what their slogan is America's team.
That's what it is.
There's no other team out there whose slogan is America's team.
No, it doesn't sound familiar.
No,
great.
yeah. I mean, they're the heart of the United States, are the Colts. But no, it was an awesome time, except for after the game. After the game, so have you guys ever parked at like a football stadium before?
Yes.
Yes.
And parking prices are ridiculous. Like, just to park your car, it's like some people wanted like $60.
Wow. That's too much.
Yeah,
That's expensive for Tennessee prices too.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
So I drove down the way a little bit, and I found a lot for $10. So I was like, okay, $10.
That's not bad.
That's reasonable. However, it was like 3/4 of a mile from the stadium, and it was like torrential downpouring when I left.
Oh, that's right. At the end of that game, it was really rainy.
Yes, it was pretty rough. So I ended up walking 3/4 of a mile in the rain. Luckily, I did buy a poncho, but it was not enough. It was not enough. It was a very wet and cold drive home.
Well, yeah, you're a big human, so I can't imagine like any size poncho except for like giant size poncho fits you very well.
Yeah, the poncho said like I think it was like a kid's poncho, but then it said one size fits all. So it was like really it was really confusing for me.
Yeah. It said kids, and then in parentheses it said or adults too. We don't discriminate.
Yeah, right. We can't tell you how to live your life.
Yeah. It was a giant poncho, just had Mickey Mouse all over it.
For really large children.
Yeah.
It was a good, spur of the moment thing to do, and I was pretty pumped by it.
Nice. I was really bummed that we weren't able to stick around and go to the game. The plan originally was that we were going to go to, and then I decided to fly out on the 30th so we didn't get stuck in a snowstorm because we had something to do on New Year's Eve, which we'll talk about in a second. And then we could not switch to end up staying for the game because it would have been a really awesome game to see.
Yeah, it was a good one. But I mean, like you said, you had a pretty good reason to not go.
I did. You want me to talk about that, man?
Yeah, that was the idea.
Yes, that was definitely
That was the lead in. You didn't take it the first time.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not really good at these cue things.
When I go, oh, you did something on New Year's, and you go, yeah. I celebrate New Year's. That was the you were supposed to talk
That's a
about.
swing and a miss right there.
Yeah. I lobbed one up for you.
Yeah, so on New Year's, Caitlin and myself and my brother and his girlfriend went to go see Billy Joel at Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Nassau County, New York, which, for anybody who doesn't know, is part of Queens. Show started at 10:30, and he played all the way till about 1:30, 1:45, and it was awesome. It was also downpouring rain here in the Northeast, so trying to get in the door and out into an Uber was a pain in the ass. Also, Nassau Coliseum apparently only has 2 doors that open on one side of its building to let people in. So the lines were massive, and everybody, for the most part, missed the opening show. And people were just like pushing their way into the building, and nobody went through metal detectors. So overall, it was a really safe experience as well.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't get blown up, so all's well that ends well.
That is true. I got to see Billy Joel for the second time. For anybody who hasn't seen him, I recommend it. He's really good live.
Yeah, I heard he's decent at music.
Now, what song did he play at midnight?
Oh, the standard, like, Come All Ye Faithful.
Auld Lang Syne.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's the same song.
No, it's not, but...
I was like, that would be a weird song to play at midnight.
Do people play Come All Ye Faithful at midnight?
You know what song I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, the one I said.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's
the one that said? Oh, come all ye faithful,
right,
joyful and triumphant.
All right, hang on one second. Let me see what he put.
Yeah, no, I'm 99.9% sure it was Auld Lang Syne.
All right, Tud's got to fact check this up here.
Yeah.
Trust me, I saw the whole concert. You snapped the whole fucking thing.
Somebody sing that song.
May old acquaintance be forgot.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Yes.
The traditional New Year song.
What do you think our Drinking Alone with Friends traditional New Year's song would be?
I don't know. I know for sure it's not the first one that Tud said.
I keep thinking of that dumb Kid Rock song that sounds like Werewolves of London, but I don't know why it would be our song. I keep thinking of it.
Oh yeah, what is the name of it?
All Summer Long. There it is.
There you go.
Oh yeah,
it's bad. It's bad song. But
we haven't even recorded this pod in the summer.
That's very.
I think what Chris is saying is like if you start out the year with All Summer Long, you know that like from there your music's only going to get better. So it's like you kind of start the year on a really bad note.
That's what the New Year's is all about. Just starting bad.
As is tradition, start the year off bad. It only gets better.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I think it's time for us to start the year off good.
Yeah.
And that's by drinking some stuff.
Yeah.
So what are y'all drinking tonight?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm drinking a beer that I was very excited about when I first bought it. It's called the Juice Double IPA from Madison River Brewing Company.
Well, that's a good name.
Yeah, that's obviously, you could see why I bought it. Inspired by a very tasty sounding name. But yeah, this one's been kicking around my fridge for a little while. Maybe I'm inspired by Tud's famous resolution to drink 2 beers for every one he buys. But I decided I'm going to try and clean out the beer fridge a little bit.
You mean the resolution that was forced upon me?
Yeah, the one that you totally came up with all by yourself and wasn't inspired by anything else at all.
Yep. That's a really good resolution to have.
But pouring this beer, it's got a little, maybe sour isn't the right word, but a little, I guess, a sour aroma. Not exactly a very hazy beer smell.
Can you hold it up to the camera?
Sure. And as I'm holding it up to the camera, it's not exactly an unfiltered, juicy beer.
Yeah, so I would like to take a guess at what you are going to say about this beer as you are taking a sip of this beer.
Ooh, this is like a new like Miss Cleo segment right now.
Yes.
Okay, I like this.
Tud Cleo.
Yeah, Tud Cleo. I'm going to take a sip while Tud's talking, and then we'll see how it lines up.
Okay.
All right? Here we go.
So I imagine that Obert is going to come back and say that this is not a juicy beer at all, but it's very malty with not a lot. It's very dull on hop flavor as well. Coming based off his sour stench or sour description, I think he's going to say probably a 3.25 for.
Well, that was not a bad guess, Tud, and I get some good bubblegum kind of more notes right as I take my first sip. But yeah, this double IPA is not really doing it for me. It's not a super hoppy beer. And, after all those delicious New England IPAs I was just drinking back in Connecticut, this one is not a great follow-up with that. I think 3.25 is a little generous, though. I would say,
Ooh.
Well, I think 3.25 for me is a better than average beer.
Okay.
This is, it's very, very drinkable, but I'm only going to give this a 2.75 because this is not really hitting all of the things I want in a beer called the Juice Double IPA.
Now be honest with me. Was your rating of 2.75 influenced by the fact that I tried to guess what you would rate it?
No, I actually came up with that in my head right before you said your number.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. I think you guessed how I feel about it, right? But I think that your scale is calibrated a little differently than mine.
Well,
I'm a little more willing to dip into the high twos for a beer that's okay, but it doesn't.
Keep in mind, our beer up here is, from my experience, even the crap beers are somewhat good.
Yeah.
So with a name like Juice Double IPA, is it supposed to be like a New England style? Or because I think you mentioned, and you might not have mentioned on air, but this is a little bit of an older bottle, correct?
Yeah. This is one that I got when I first moved to Montana. So this beer probably is...
It's almost a year old.
Well, I see here it says this bottle was bottled on January 18th of 2018. So it is an older beer. But I wanna read what this beer thinks it is to you, because it says, as the sun sets on a long day of outdoor adventure, the time has come for settling in. The juice is brewed just for these moments as you sit back and take in that Montana sky. Well, again, it would be better in the summer because it'll be light out, but now it's just dark. With a distinctive orange grapefruit character and a smooth hop finish, this double IPA stands above the rest like a prized golden trout. Fill your tank with the juice.
So it's possible it was supposed to be juicy at one point.
Yes, but it was never unfiltered. So it was never a very hazy New England style IPA. I think it was always a double IPA.
Okay, that kind of makes sense.
And now that I read that it's got grapefruit character, I kind of picked that up, but not incredibly much. But anyway, I think we've talked about my Juice Double IPA long enough. Todd, why don't you take it from here?
Chris, be prepared. I'm trying this game with you.
Okay. Let's do Chris next. I know Chris has a lot of beer to drink tonight, so
Yes.
I do. Yeah, maybe I should get a head start on this. Okay, I'll go next. Yeah, so Tud Cleo, I think mine might be a lob for you, though. I think this might be too easy.
I haven't had it.
Yeah, but, okay. So I'm drinking a big bottle, a bomber, opening it with my Colts bottle opener.
very nice.
Oh, it smells so good. So I'm drinking a Founders CBS, which is the Canadian Breakfast Stout. I was able to find one of these down here when they released it, maybe about a month or so ago. I bought one, and I was going to save it, so I was going to age it, actually. But thanks to friend of the pod, Drew, I decided to, you know what? Why save it? Because I can drink it now on the podcast and go from there.
Founders is one of my all-time favorite breweries to visit, by the way. We visited them earlier this year, and it was fantastic.
And they're out of Michigan, right?
They are. They're out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, and it's just one of the coolest breweries I've been to. Out of all the breweries I've been to, Founders sticks out just as a beacon out of all of them.
Yeah, it's definitely one that I want to go to, and we have a friend of the pod up there now, so whenever I make it up to Michigan, I'm going to hang out with Jenna, and we're going to go to Founders. So that'll be fun.
I also saw she has a sticker of Mittens Brewery, which is a really good brewery too. I like Mittens.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, she's from up there. We'll get her on the pod one of these days. But yeah, so for those of you now, how do you want to do this, Tud Cleo? Should I just jump into it, or do you want me to give a little bit of a description of what the bottle says?
No, you can first hold it up to the camera so I can gaze into its wonderment.
Right. He's got to read the beer.
Yeah, I got to read the beer. And then as you're drinking, I'm just going to describe what I think it's going to taste like.
Okay, here we go. Actually, you know what? I'm going to take my earbuds out so I won't be able to hear what you said.
Ooh.
There we go. Double blind Tud Cleo. Here we go.
Okay, so Chris is lifting the glass to his nose, sniffing it, and taking a sip. I think right now he's probably saying, well, it's a little boozy.
Yeah, I see that.
Definitely got some hints of maple on it. Maybe a little bit of coffee, but I think he's going to get a lot of burnt and a lot of chocolate out of this type of stout. But I definitely think it's going to be a lot of maple. I would have to think that just because it is a Canadian breakfast stout, and all I can think of for Canada is that they like maple.
I think he likes it.
Come back in.
Yeah, and I think that
Quick, what's the rating?
Oh yeah.
Wait, hang on. Don't listen. Okay.
So I think his rating is going to be, I'm going to say a 4.0.
Okay, I'm going to go with 4.25.
Okay.
But all right.
Are we good?
Welcome back.
Okay.
Tud actually drank your beer telepathically. Yeah.
Damn it. It's all
It's a little
gone.
emptier now.
It's all gone and Tud is drunk now.
Oh boy.
Okay, so this beer is pretty damn good. It is, I'll read you the bottle. It's an imperial stout brewed with chocolate and coffee, aged in maple syrup bourbon barrels. So just kind of like wrap your mind around that for just a second.
I already have.
Sounds
Yeah, I know.
delicious.
Tud already walked you through it, so hopefully this is exactly what he said.
Nothing makes good podcasting like hearing the same exact thing twice. When one of the hosts doesn't know what the other one said.
So it's really, really good. I get a lot of sweetness out of it, and you can kind of get it from both the chocolate and the maple syrup. You do get that hint of coffee, not overly powerful coffee, but it's very much, you do get the maple pretty strong coming through it. And the bourbon is strong, but not quite overpowering, which is really, really awesome. It is going to kick me in the butt because it is 11.6% alcohol, and it is a bomber, and I'm going to drink it all today.
Well, except for the part that Tud zipped.
Right, except
Telepathic.
for the ones that Tud drank. But yeah, man, really good. Especially if you like a dark imperial stout and you like the bourbon and a little bit of sweetness to it. This is a great beer. I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5.
Oh wow, I was closer.
Oh.
I went with 4.25.
I went with 4.
4.0.
4. Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
No, this is like, I know we were talking about it maybe a week or two ago. I don't remember, but about like those stouts that are like my kind of stouts. That like this is one of those. This is like my kind of stout right here.
Okay.
Because I don't know. The maple sweetness definitely adds something for me, and yeah, really, really good. Glad I snagged it. I'm gonna be sad when it's gone, but I'll also be semi-drunk when it's gone, so that's fine.
Your description is so good; it makes me want to go out and buy one. Except I'm trying to clear out the fridge, but
well, all you have to do is drink 2 to buy the 1.
oh yeah, that's true.
You actually have to drink 4 so you can go out and buy 2 bottles of it. That way you can age one and drink one fresh.
Right.
I'm gonna see if I can't find another one and age it. But thank you, Drew, because I wouldn't have drank it tonight if I wasn't listening to your sage wisdom.
So I am going to have to keep this Tud Cleo thing up because I think I can get really good at this.
Hone it in. We'll do it every couple episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is going to be a new semi-reoccurring bit.
Yeah, and we'll have to get you more appropriate, like the
attire. Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say the headscarf that you have on right now doesn't really match.
Oh,
I
damn.
think.
Yeah.
I thought I had it perfectly.
You got to get one with like beer glasses and question marks. I'm thinking purple with some stars. Yeah.
Do I have to start talking with a Jamaican accent too?
Yeah.
Hi, Tud Cleo. Give me a beer today. So
I don't know if that was Jamaican or more like Mario. It's a me, Mario.
Well, I mean, you're Italian. That's fine.
Cleo in it. Yeah.
Everybody gets it. Everybody understands.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Tud, I'm going to play Chris Cleo, and you're drinking a double IPA.
Ooh.
What are you drinking tonight?
How could you guess?
Fox Farm.
Yeah, right. It's like you could do like a choose your own adventure of like, is Tud drinking a IPA, double IPA, or pale ale from Fox Farm, Treehouse, or Trillium?
Right. Yeah.
I drink stouts every now and then.
True.
The oddball is like whiskey. Turn to page 35.
Yeah, right.
This is like Black Mirror Bandersnatch, just, Tud drinks, drinking along with friends podcast edition.
Yeah. If we get really, really big and we do like a Twitch or something, we'll have Tud just drink to your commands. So
Yeah.
anyways, what are you drinking, Tud?
So,
Well,
that's a little bit of bullshit. You're lucky Owen's not behind you.
So I'm actually in the spirit of coming up with Obert's forced New Year's resolution for myself and working on cleaning out my fridge. I know at the beginning of the podcast we talked about this brewery a lot. We have since kind of shied away from them. This is literally the last beer I have in my fridge by them, so we're drinking it today to get rid of it. And it's Treehouse is the brewery that this beer is from, and the beer is Super Typhoon. So
is that a new brewery?
I think they just opened like a week ago.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of it. So
this is this is a double IPA. The way they describe it on their can is, we are excited that you are holding a delicious double IPA from Treehouse Brewing Company, Super Typhoon. Super Typhoon is the big brother to Hurricane, featuring amplified kettle and dry hop doses of Citra and Simcoe hops and adjustments to the base beer to make it even richer with flavor. It explodes on the palate with juicy tropical flavors and finishes crisp and clean. It is everything we love about Hurricane with an extra layer of hop intensity, saturation. So Super Typhoon is the double version of Hurricane. I drank Hurricane on the same podcast on episode 4. So go back and listen to that right now. I'll wait. All right, now that you're back, as you have heard, I rated it.
Man, that was a great episode.
It was a great episode.
Yeah, my favorite part was when I said something funny and we all laughed.
Yeah, I like that part too.
Yeah, me too.
You sound so resigned. Yeah, that was really funny.
So, I rated Super Typhoon's little brother a 4.25, and so let me take a sip of.
I think actually, brother of co-host of the podcast, Brad, gave me a Super Typhoon when I was in Connecticut. So I'm curious to see what you rate it versus myself.
So, just like Hurricane, I get a lot of orangeness from this. Tastes kind of a little like orange juice with a slight bit of bitterness. The bitterness is definitely a lot less profound than what I was talking about with the Fox Farm beer 2 episodes ago. I get a lot of starfruit, a little bit of tartness. It's not my favorite beer by Treehouse. I definitely think I would prefer the Little Brother Hurricane.
Probably explains why it's the last one you have in your fridge, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's this was brewed back in July, so it's been in there for a while. So maybe some of the original flavors are muted, but this one it's not my favorite, but overall it's still a solid beer. Obviously you're still gonna get that Treehouse cleanness. You get that undercoat of flavor that they have. Overall, I give it probably a 4.
Interesting. Okay, so pulling back the curtain, my personal ratings on Untappd, I gave Hurricane a 4.25 and Super Typhoon a 4. So we are right on par.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Tud Cleo.
Yeah, right? Yeah,
I don't think that's how it works.
maybe it's me with the powers.
Maybe.
It's a good beer. I remember it being a good beer.
Yeah. It's not their best, but it's not their worst.
No.
Actually, it might be their worst. I don't know. Like, I've actually never uncovered what Treehouse's worst be.
You have to go and check your ratings to figure out what you've rated from them under a 4.
Are we going to wait while I do this?
I don't know. You didn't.
Yeah,
say
I wasn't sure. I
that,
assumed
so.
you were looking. So.
All right, give me 30 seconds.
Probably their Pilsner, I assume. Not Gather.
That's Fox
yeah,
Farm.
Gather's Fox Farm. But man, this beer is pretty good.
I'm very jealous. My beer's not great. I bought a 6-pack and I have like 3 left in the fridge.
Yep. So, you guys will be right again. My lowest rated Treehouse beer is Eureka with Citra.
Interesting. I like that beer.
Nope. Eureka with Mosaic. Sorry, I gave it a 3.25.
Wow.
Apparently, I was not a fan
Fresh
of that.
critic over here. Yeah.
Yep. Eureka with Mosaic is my lowest rated Treehouse beer.
So, Tud,
Yes.
I heard you have a question for Chris and I.
Wait, what is that noise? Is that the hit segment coming back?
I don't know. Does this segment make noise?
What is the news?
Ooh. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. What is the news is back and better than ever.
Your favorite segment we haven't done in a while.
Correct.
Right. Well, I mean, technically, it's like their second favorite segment that we haven't done in a while.
After
Face Your Beers.
Oh yeah. People
we're
were
gonna-
clamoring for Face Your Beers.
Yeah, I know. People go off the chain for Face Your Beers, but
We gotta bring.
I gotta
it
go
back.
to the Packy tomorrow, so maybe I'll see if I can't find something gross for next week's episode.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Well, I mean, it is episode 20.
Yeah, let's not promise it now. Oh, episode 20, the big 2-0.
The big 2-0. We can
Ooh.
almost.
I think episode 21 might be a bigger.
Yeah, I was about to say we
milestone
can
for
almost
us.
drink. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is a big one. So
Episode 21, folks.
So just to reaffirm the rules to the participants here, I am going to read 3 headlines, 2 of which are real headlines. The goal...
They're all real headlines, right?
Yes, 2 of which are real, like, in-the-world news stories. The third one is a parody news headline. I won't say fake because that goes down another path. But the third one is a parody news headline. For everybody listening out there, the current record between Obert and Chris is 2-4, and Obert is 5-1.
I'm catching up.
Yeah, yep.
So, this first segment comes from one of our listeners, Dan,
Friend of the pod.
friend of the pod, and here we go. If spiders worked together, they could eat all humans in a year. Canadian GoFundMe raises $6 billion in 2 hours to pay for privacy hedges along the U.S. border.
Okay.
And Jeff Sessions says, quote unquote, I am proud to have served white America, end quote.
And we want the real one. We want the parody right now, right?
You want the parody.
Ooh, okay.
I think I know which one I'm going to go with.
I know which one I'm going to go with, too. So.
Okay. I think number 2.
I think number 2 as well.
Is
yes,
the parody.
Yes.
6 billion in 24 hours? Is that what you
In
said?
2 hours, I think he said.
Oh, 2 hours.
Correct.
All right. Yeah, see?
Yeah.
But you guys would both be wrong.
What?
Yes.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Oh, my.
Which one was it?
The parody headline was Jeff Sessions, I am proud to have served white America.
Oh, man, that one was the one I was sure was real.
Yeah, right?
Oh, man, that is crazy.
Yeah.
So
That's...
the Canadians raised $6 billion in 2 hours?
They must really want to keep us out.
Well, it's not even that. They just don't want us to see.
That's true. Clearly, they have a lot of money to throw around.
That's pretty fun. And the spiders. So I don't I guess I don't understand the spider part. Like, what is who's trying to say that? Like, what is the point of that?
So New York, it was an article on New York Post. If spiders work together, they could eat all humans in a year.
That's it. That's it.
I mean, there's an entire article,
Obviously.
but yeah, that was the headline.
What is how many spiders are there?
A lot, I guess.
I guess so.
I guess the article starts off with humans beware. If the world's present population of spiders ever get organized, they could eat all of us in just 12 months.
Yeah, I believe it. There's a lot of insects and arachnids and whatnot out there. So
I guess they're.
But I want to go to that political rally where everybody is chanting like "Trim the hedge, trim the hedge."
So that's good on Canada. I do have one more segment of this, obviously, because we always play 2 rounds.
Obviously, as is tradition.
So, first headline is everyone in Springfield, Missouri Pride Parade.
Hold on. Are we still doing 2 real, 1 parody?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Because sometimes you switch it up on us.
Right.
Yeah. No. The parody headlines are hard to come by these days.
Okay.
So everyone in Springfield, Missouri Pride Parade straight. So I need to say that more correctly. Everyone in the Springfield, Missouri Pride Parade is straight. Saudi women to be notified of divorced via text message. J.K. Rowling reveals that wizards used to just shit on the floor like dogs.
Oh man. After last round, I don't know. I'm shook. I'm shaken.
I know, right? I think it's obvious, but I was so sure last time too.
All right, I got my guess.
Right.
Yeah, I think number 3 is the fake.
Ah, damn it. Me too. Number 3.
Yeah.
Both wrong.
Damn it!
What?
Oh my
that's
god!
That's not real. There's no way that's real.
Yeah, I mean, we've been watching the Harry Potter movies. I can't believe J.K. would do that to us.
Yeah.
Yep, that is a real article and a real quote.
Let's start there and get into the other 2 later.
Yeah, I don't even want to know the real one yet.
Yeah.
Or the fake one, or the whatever.
Yeah.
So
I guess we could have a second chance. This could be our tiebreaker for the episode.
I guess that's true. I guess if we both get it wrong. All right. Okay. So we know J.K. Rowling is real. True.
Yes.
That's true news.
So the other two are Saudi women to be notified of divorce via text message, or everyone in Springfield, Missouri Pride Parade straight.
Okay, and I think for the record, we could only harm our record here. If we get this right, it doesn't count as a win, but if we get it wrong, it counts as a loss.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Because we've already gotten it wrong. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I'm going to go with the Springfield Pride Parade.
Same here.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, correct is in...
That is the parody one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably should have went with that one first time. But anyway, okay, so about shitting wizards.
Right. Can you read us a little bit from this article?
Of course. Yeah. Of course. I like how we always pick the person who reads the worst out loud to read.
Well, you're the one with the articles.
Yeah.
Yes, J.K. Rowling's endless tinkering with the canon of her brain-bustingly successful Harry Potter franchise has run the gamut over the years. From irritating to feeling like a somewhat cowardly attempt to have her cake and eat it too, in regards to the series' often invisible approaches to representation, i.e. anything to do with the fact that Dumbledore is gay, a fact you never know from simply reading the books or even watching the movies that are actively about his brewing conflict with his Johnny Depp-played ex. Still, there's a pretty massive gap between, hey, here's Neville Longbottom's birthday fans, and a revelation about Rowling's Pottermore site made today, when it decided, for reasons unknown to either man or magic, to announce that wizards used to shit on the floor just like dogs. This is like legitimately like from like she has a website called Pottermore.
Yep, she does.
I've heard of that website before. Yeah.
And so the tweet reads, Hogwarts didn't always have bathrooms. Before adopting Muggle plumbing methods in the 18th century, witches and wizards simply relieved themselves wherever they stood and vanished the evidence.
I mean, I guess if you could. Right?
Hashtag National Trivia Day.
Yeah,
well,
I mean, I guess
want to know what the first years did, right? That's
Welcome
like
to
the
Hogwarts.
equivalent of wizard potty training.
No, I can safely say I've never read the books, and I've watched the first movie, so I don't know much about the Harry Potter universe. But I feel like this was not a central theme of the movies.
No. There are very large scenes that include bathrooms in the movies and books. So,
I almost forgot about that. Yeah, yep. There's a whole bathroom.
It's like a big thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Obert brings up a good point. It's like, okay, now you're gonna learn how to unlock a door, and everybody's like holding it and like looking really anxious. Like, can we learn something else first? Like, no, no, right. Alahomora. So,
well, I'm sure like day one of school is like, all right, people,
all right, this is how you.
We're gonna teach you what to do when you have to take a dump. You have to do this, and you have to say bippity boppity boo, and it's gone.
Would it be bibbity bobbity poo?
Right.
Oh man. Okay, JK. I guess you got
So the new records after today's difficult rounds are Chris, you're at 2-6.
Catching up.
And Obert 5-3.
Okay.
I mean, if you think about it, I had 0 wins at one point, so I am technically making progress.
I like how I asked you to read that article. And it had literally nothing informative in there at all. It was just
nothing.
like,
nope. It was just like
a bunch of build up and then the same fact of the headline. Like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's we will link this article to the post or to the podcast, but it's not a very long article and it's not really that informative.
What's the website?
avclub.com.
Okay. Yeah, we'll throw it in the show notes so everybody can read about how wizards and witches used to poop everywhere. So, okay. So I love Tud texted this to us, and the URL it is news.avclub.com/J.K. Rowling reveals that wizards used to just shit on. Oh, that's so fun.
The thumbnail is a dog.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's awesome. But so I think Obert, I think you have a confession to make. I think you helped make our second enemy of the pod. Isn't that right?
Oh, yeah.
We have a new enemy?
apparently...
Well, the first one's dead, so...
Wow.
No. She didn't get chosen to go to Mars.
No, I'm by saying, like, I think, like, I murdered her in attempt to her wrong at life.
You heard it. You heard it here, police. If just so happened, Natalie...
This one right
something
here.
Or other.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got him. This whole podcast was a setup.
Just like that dude on HBO when he got caught. And
Yeah, but don't admit it. But you already did so.
Damn.
Oh, well.
Oh, shit.
So enemy number 2 of the pod. So I told you guys about how I went to Little House Brewing Company and had some awesome beers there. Well, I did not give an appropriate shout out to enemy number 2 of the podcast. So they declared themselves new enemy of the pod, even though they're a religious Thursday morning listener.
Well, as we heard from Natalie, you can be an enemy of the pod and still love us. So
Correct.
That's true. Yeah.
Did Drew turn into an enemy?
No, I gave Drew a shout out. I try and limit my shout outs to 1 per episode. So I went with Drew to Fat Orange Cat. I went with enemy number 2 to Little House.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
Now we're all seeing where it comes into play.
Right.
So can we put a name to this enemy?
I guess. I feel like they'd be giving them what they want, though.
They want the notoriety.
All right.
Right,
So then from now on, we're just going to call them enemy number 2.
Let's call him Blevin.
Blevin, enemy number 2 of the pod.
Blevin.
Sounds good.
So yeah.
So we're working on it, folks. We have friends of the pod. We have enemies of the pod.
And you know what's even more betraying? I thought about this after we received the news. Is I've been to other podcast live shows, a few of them with Blevin. So I feel like he's really hit me hard by being enemy of the pod.
Can I safely say I don't?
We're talking about Blevin.
Yeah, Blevin, the second enemy of the pod.
The Malfoy of the podcast.
Yeah. He's like Malfoy, but he didn't learn how to get his shit put away, so he like just shits everywhere. Everybody hates Blevin.
The bottom of his robes are stained brown.
Oh, great. Here comes Blevin. Don't sit behind Blevin in potions class.
So, Chris, do you think that the person we met in Nashville counts as the 4th enemy or the 3rd enemy of the pod?
The Auburn fan?
The Auburn fan?
I don't know. I don't know if he... I mean...
He got thoroughly destroyed.
He did. I mean, it was drunk Tud and drunk Chris arguing with an Auburn fan, also drunk, so...
And just so everybody's aware, the drunk Auburn fan was flat out stating that he, as an Auburn fan, did not like Cam Newton.
Right. The only thing of note to come through your school since like Bo Jackson.
Correct. And it's just how you can't say that you don't like your best player with a straight face and expect any reasonable sports fan to not argue right back at you. So needless to say, that Auburn fan got boom roasted right in the middle of Broadway at 3 a.m. in Nashville.
Yep. Yes, he did.
See, I thought the first enemy of the pod was the guy who you ran into in line at Fox Farm.
Ooh. That's a good one. The one that was...
That's a curveball.
Pre-Natalie.
Yeah, that was before Natalie. That's before we even knew that there were enemies.
Right.
That is true. I guess he would be the OG enemy.
It takes a lot to make Tud cranky.
Natalie was the first one that we actually had like a name.
Right. Yeah.
That's true.
And poor her, I mean, she had no idea what she was starting
when she did her job.
Made a crappy brewery store.
when she ran her stupid mouth about stuff that she doesn't know.
Whoa.
Yeah, when she did her job and Tud just so happened, or actually Danny just so happened to stumble across it and say, "Oh, you should talk about this on the podcast." She had no idea what she was getting herself into.
Exactly. I hope one day Natalie contacts us and wants to try to make amends. We can have her on the pod.
Well, from Mars, again, the lag was going to be insane.
Right. It'll be an 8-hour long episode, and the last 10 minutes will be Natalie talking. So it's that time of the pod where we're going to race our frosty mug of wisdom by the 3 handles and share life tips and hacks for everybody out there. And given that this is the first pod that we've recorded after the new year, we are going to do New Beer's resolution.
Yeah, that's right. Come all ye faithful.
Faithful. Hit it, Billy.
So there you have it, folks. Now that you're all deaf,
I can sing.
I'm gonna go first because I led in the segment. So,
well, did you say it was the New Beer's resolutions?
I did.
Yeah, and then we sang. Then you sang.
Okay, shut up. Listen, this is a big bobber. Okay.
Yeah.
So my New Beer's resolution. I'm going to take the easy way out, and I'm going to take the one that Obert's been forcing down my throat for the past.
I don't know what you're
month.
talking about.
And I'm going to drink 2 beers out of my fridge for every 1 beer that I bring into the house. Now, this could either work out really well, where I end up having a lot less beer in the house, or I'm going to be really drunk a lot of the times because I'm going to bring home 8 beers and have to drink 16.
Now, quick tangent. Do you know where you're going for your honeymoon yet?
No.
So I think what you should do is every time you're tempted to buy more beer, just go downstairs, drink a beer, and put that money you would have spent on beer in your honeymoon fund. Ooh. Say, this is it. Instead of going out to buy more beer, I'm just drinking some at home, saving money for that beautiful Mykonos sunset.
Now, can we delete all this so the fiance doesn't hear this?
I don't know.
I'm gonna cut this for her and send it and just email it to her.
Yeah, that sounds good.
You know, she's part of the problem.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure it's all her.
No, it's not all her. She definitely plays a role in it.
It's also not the fact that you drink weekly with 2 of your best friends.
Yeah. No, that can't be it.
No, that's a good New Beer's resolution, Ted. I'm impressed you came up with that one. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I thought of it all by myself. It was great. So with that, I'm going to pass the handle over to whoever wants it next.
I'll go.
All right, here you go.
So yeah, my New Beer's resolution.
You have to wait like a week for the UPS guy to bring it in the mail, though.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll just pause the recording here. Okay, welcome back. Now, my new Beer's resolution is to check into more stuff on Untappd, and you guys are really good at checking in all your beers that you guys try. No, you're not.
You don't say.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if you were being serious because I know you drink a lot of beers, but you're really good at checking them in. And I'm usually when I'm out at a bar or whatever, there's a million excuses to not check. But no, I'm going to be more disciplined. 2019, start checking in my beers, giving good ratings. That way we can share a little bit with my friends and family back home what the good Montana beers are, and just stay on top of it a little more.
Nice. Yeah, it's always a good thing. And, you know, when you drink beer as much as myself and Tud and now you do, it gets addicting after a while. I mean, I don't know. We talked about it before. I love checking in new beers. It's like, I don't know. I just get something out of it. It's like, yeah, it's a new beer. It's a new beer.
Apparently I crossed over the 2000 line and didn't even realize it when I was in Tennessee.
Oh, what? You're 2,000 unique beers?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Damn.
Have you made it to 2019 unique beers yet?
I'm at 2025.
Oh, wow. Living in the future already.
Wow. Holy shit. Damn.
Nice.
That's a big milestone.
And it was some like awful beer at Yazoo Brewing too.
Of course. As is tradition.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
Like I was hoping that it was going to be like, I was going to like scroll back and see that it was like Southern Grist and I was going to be really happy.
Right. Yeah, your 2000th beer was piss water.
Why would you name it this?
It was Winter Red House Ale by Yazoo Brewing Company.
Wow.
And you gave it a
3.25.
Okay.
That is a bit disappointing.
Yeah. So let me hand the mug off with that on that note, because I think we might lead right into Chris's New Beer's resolution.
Yeah. So last handle on our Frosty Mug of Wisdom, my New Beer's resolution is also Untappd related. My New Beer's resolution is also Untappd related, and that is to kind of return to form, as to say. So I had a down year this year on Untappd. Having a kid apparently does that. You can't drink as much. I don't know. Have to be a responsible adult. This, that, and the other thing. I only drank 507 unique beers this year. So that's down from over 600 the previous 2 years. So I'm going to set myself a stretch goal. I'm going to hit 650 new beers this year.
Holy mackerel.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a lot. I'm off to an okay start. Not a great start for the 6th day of the year. I should already be at like 18 beers, but
But it's not the weekend, so you're good.
It's going to be the weekend for me coming up. But so that's
right. It's not. Well, I was going to say it's not your weekend.
Right. Exactly. So that's my New Year's resolution. I'm going to hit 650 beers, which would be my best year, I think, by far on Untappd. And I need the help because I do still have a 1-year-old. He doesn't go away until 17. And even then, he just moves
17.
out.
17 years from now, right?
17 years from
Yeah.
now.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were saying at 17 years old. I was like, I feel like that's a year early.
No, he's going to get recruited and go to, I don't know, probably Tennessee. I mean, we live in Tennessee, so that makes sense. And then he'll get drafted by the Colts, and then he'll win 7 Super Bowls, at least 7 Super Bowls. But anyways, yeah, so that's my New Beers resolution is to hit 650 unique beers in 2019.
AKA be a less responsible parent.
No. Still be a responsible parent. Just
A
drink
slightly
more beer.
drunker responsible parent.
Maybe that. So
I like
just
it.
think-
That's a good. You kind of inspired me to set a number because I wasn't going for it. So I'm going to say 365. That's my number for the year.
Okay,
I
beer
think
a day.
I think I'll hit it pretty easily if I'm religious on my check-ins.
I think I've heard once that a beer a day keeps the doctor away.
Yeah, I think that's how that saying goes.
So-
I don't need to commit to doing this because I know I'm just gonna whoop both your guys' asses in check-ins. So with that, thank you all for listening.
No rebuttal. He just
Yeah,
with
yeah,
that,
just kinda
he's just
goes.
gonna go into the
Well,
end.
how can you rebuttal against the truth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you did kick my ass this year.
The
That's
sky
exactly-
is blue. Can I hear a rebuttal?
So I think at and I don't know, Ted,
Not
correct
at
me if
night.
I'm wrong, but I think at 1,500 or 1,600 beers, we were pretty damn
I
close.
think at one point you were beating me.
Yeah, and now you're 250 beers ahead of me.
Right. Like I could not drink for a quarter of the year and still be ahead of you.
Yeah, probably. Well, not with my new resolution, maybe.
No, yeah, because that's about a quarter of where you're trying to get to.
Okay, whatever. It's
I
fine.
think it's going to be interesting with Tud trying to cut back on his beer buying and Chris trying to up his game. It'll be a tight race, I think.
You act like that just because I cut back on my beer means I'm going to cut down on my check-ins because you act like there isn't beer in my house that I haven't had yet.
No, I'm not saying it's not going to be.
Or that I'm going to stop visiting breweries because I don't have to bring home new beer to still visit breweries.
Very good. Very good point.
That is very true. Yeah.
So now, in all seriousness, thank you all for listening. We'd like to thank the people who brought our beers today. So first, I'm going to thank Treehouse with Super Typhoon.
I'd like to thank Founders for their CBS, the Canadian Breakfast Stout.
And I'm going to thank Madison River Brewing Company for the Juice double IPA.
It wasn't very juicy. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Untappd at DAWF Podcast. We really appreciate all the follows we get. We're almost approaching 600 followers on Instagram. We are still aware that we promised a winner after 500
Yeah.
Instagram followers. We are going to make that happen.
It's coming. I promise. I'm
I
hitting.
thought last episode we said we were going to announce it this episode.
No, I didn't. But anyways, yeah. No, so the issue is I want to add a little bit more variety, and I just haven't been able to make it to a package store. So I'm gonna hit up a packy tomorrow, and we're gonna get it posted sometime this week. That's my goal. That's my other New Beers resolution.
So now keep in mind, that was Chris running that one. I am running a contest for Twitter. Once we reach 200 followers, I will be doing the same thing. Trust me, I will be a lot faster than Chris at sending out the gift. So please get on Twitter and follow us. Again, DAWF Podcast. Hashtag follow the email, DAWFpodcast@gmail.com with your comments, your questions, your general thoughts, your concerns, your hatred. We love getting the emails. We have a lot of emails based just from the last week, which is great. So keep those coming.
I don't want their general thoughts.
I do. Like if they're hungry, I want them to email me and
No,
say,
I don't want
we're
that.
hungry.
Yeah, I want constructive criticism, questions, but no general thoughts.
Maybe we'll get general thoughts from Blevin.
Yeah.
We probably will, knowing him.
Yeah.
Fucking Blevin. Again, we're all loaded up with stickers. Chris and I made Nashville, like our collage book, as we stuck stickers all over the city.
Paint of the town black and blue.
Correct.
Yeah, I got home and I emptied like my coat pocket and I saw like the remnants of stickers. I was like, I don't know where I put these, but okay.
Please subscribe to us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. On iTunes, listeners, please give us a 5-star rating. iTunes is the only platform that matters with the ratings. The better ratings or the more ratings we get on iTunes, the higher we rise in the charts. The higher we rise in the charts, the more people will find us. So please, again, go to iTunes, give us a rating. I don't care whether you're an Android user, an Apple user, listening to us on your computer or wherever. Find your way to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating.
That should be the listeners' New Beer's resolution.
Correct. Listeners' New Beer's resolution as forced upon by Obert.
Of course.
Because
Obviously.
He's really good at pushing resolutions.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so that's a big thing for us is, we already have a ton of good feedback, a ton of good reviews, a ton of good ratings, but the more the merrier. And, tell your friends, steal their phones, rate us. It really does help. It helps us a ton.
And the higher we get on those ratings, by the way, the more listeners that get to us, the more we can get sponsorships, the more we can make cool shit happen, like getting us all together in the same state for a beer festival, or buying a brewery, or doing other things like that.
On Mars.
On Mars.
The first brewery on Mars.
We also need the funds from the podcast to help fund sending Nancy to Mars.
Natalie.
Oh, fuck.
And Blevin.
They're sending Blevin to Mars, too. Well, you know what? Nancy's that guy in front of me at Fox Farm from now on.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice
I
save.
like that. Nancy, Natalie, Blevin, and Obert.
Yeah, and Auburn. We're sending that guy to fucking Mars, too.
Yeah. Okay, we got to wrap this up.
With that, I'm Tud.
My name's Chris.
And I'm Obert. And remember, if you're drinking alone, do it with friends.
We're coming for you, Blevin. You're going to Mars.
I know, we got at this rate, we're going to have a whole school bus full of enemies in the pod.
We're gonna have more enemies than friends.
People, our purpose is going to become our enemies, and we're going to start trying